We're going to lead off our college football wraparound with a rivalry game between Colorado State and Colorado and some keys to victory for both teams. We're going to start with the Rams and pressure bust pipes. I'm interested to see how they're able to apply pressure against Colorado. They lost all four starters up front defensively, and if they can't apply pressure, it's going to be a long day. You look in the secondary, the biggest matchup they're going to have to win is with their best corner, Tyree Simmons, versus the Buffalo's best wide receiver, Shea Fields. If Simmons can win that battle, it goes a long way in helping these guys become one-dimensional. I think they have to keep their foot on the gas. We saw this last year in this ball game. Colorado State had a very good lead. They allowed the Buffaloes back in it and ended up losing the ball game. Moving over to the Buffaloes in this ball game, I think they have to be able to win on first down defensively. That's the best way you can get a team off the field, by putting them in second and long, third and long situations. Plus, their defensive line, I think, has a slight advantage over this Rams offensive front. And if they can put these guys in backed up situations, it goes a long way in helping these Buffaloes win the game. And Sefo Lufau is a guy that is back in the lineup. He's healthy. He's a tremendous player. He has to protect the football. He does a lot of great things, but he does put the ball at risk. If he can protect the football, their offense will look a heck of a lot better than it did last season. And I think they have to defend inside out. You don't want to try to give up too much space worrying about the spread formations that you're going to see from Colorado State. Play inside out, force that running back to go outside, and that way you can make them one-dimensional, and therefore you can get off the field when it comes time for third downs. I like Colorado in this ball game. I think when you look at the trench warfare that's going to have to take place in this matchup, Colorado's offensive line, I think, has an advantage over the defensive front of Colorado State. I love the fact that their defense can apply pressure. Two unknowns right now for Colorado State. They may end up being good down the line in the Mountain West Conference, but right now in this ball game, I think the Buffaloes have a slight advantage and will win in a close one. And finally, on your Friday slate is a game between Kansas State and Stanford. This should be a great matchup, and the first thing I'm looking for Kansas State is how well will they match up versus Christian McCaffrey, the Heisman Trophy candidate, in the passing game. I think when you look at linebacker, sure, Mike Ewell more, I think he's an outstanding athlete, and I think he can be able to match up versus McCaffrey, but it's going to be interesting if they utilize him or maybe someone in the secondary. I think offensively, Kansas State has to beat the blitz with their passing game. We know they can run the football. We know they're going to have some success up front with their offensive line, but can they beat the blitz? Throwing the football is going to be huge, and they have to make Stanford one-dimensional. I know that's easier said than done. You know Stanford wants to run the football, but again, if you can take away their key piece or find ways to match up versus McCaffrey, you're going to make them one-dimensional by default. And for Stanford in this ball game, it's about maintaining or resetting the line of scrimmage. If they're able to maintain the line of scrimmage, they have the athletes at the second level that can make plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. If they can reset it, that's even better, which puts Kansas State in a second and long, third and long situation. They also have to own the special teams department. One thing we know about a Bill Snyder coach team, they will win the special teams battle. That's something that Stanford has to wrestle away from the Wildcats, and they want to ease their quarterbacks, whether it's Ryan Burns or Keller Chris, into the ball game. You do that by running the football, letting him operate off play action, taking those timely shots deep down the field, working with a short passing game. If they can ease either quarterback into the ball game, not ask them to win it like they did with Kevin Hogan, who was a tremendous leader, he's now gone, they can have a lot of success. So it's about easing those guys in early and often if they want to have a chance. I like Stanford in this ball game. I was almost tempted to go with Kansas State in an upset, but I do think overall Stanford's defense and their ability to play offense, and that's running the football and throwing the football despite bringing in some new receivers and a new quarterback, I think they have enough to knock off Kansas State, which will be a very close and entertaining ball game on a Friday night. Be sure to check out our other preview videos, our FCS kickoff, and we'll have our Saturday game slate with some FBS games, D2, and even some Division III games that you want to keep an eye on this upcoming weekend.